Hi, this is Gautam. For today's episode, we are going to look at the largest river basin in the Peninsula Plateau, and it is, of course, the Godavari River Basin. And as usual, you know the drill. If we are to understand the drainage basin properly, then we have to get a proper understanding of the geomorphology or the physical landscape through which the river flows. So, as usual, let me start with the Western Ghats because we have entered the Peninsula Plateau, and in the Peninsula Plateau, we've entered the Deccan Plateau, and here we have to know the minor hills and ranges around which we have the formation of the Godavari on the Krishna and the Kaveri river basins. So the first mountain range which we have to focus on is on the western side, and these ranges are the dividing barrier between the Krishna river basin and the Godavari river basin. So they are the Harishchandra, and then we have the Balagat. And north of the Harishchandra and Balagat, we have one more mountain system, the Satmala and the Ajanta ranges. Now, you might be wondering which river is actually flowing in the north. Well, I'm pretty sure you guessed it correctly. This is where we have the Tapi River Basin. So Tapir River Basin, I haven't uploaded the video so far. I'll do it shortly. So we just have to understand that north of Godavari River Basin, on the northwestern side, we have Tapi, and then here in the south we have Krishna. Now, keeping the other rivers away for now, we can just focus on the large river basin of Godavari itself. Now, these two mountain ranges alone does not determine the flow of Godavari River. So, along with this, we have the very large segment of the Telangana Plateau. So this is your Telangana Plateau region, and in the north, along with the Telangana Plateau, we also have one more hilly region called Satmala, and towards the eastern side, we have the Dandakaranya Bastar Plateau. So I'm pretty sure you're able to recollect these because we had worked on Bastar Plateau when we studied Mahanadi. And after the Bastar Plateau, to the eastern side, again, we have the Eastern Ghats, which are spread over the parts of Odisha. So you can pretty much understand that this is a mighty river which we are talking about. Starting in one end of Maharashtra, it is actually having its delta region in the Krishna, along with Krishna River in the Andhra Pradesh region. So the main river starts close to the Nasik, where we have the Kumbh Mela, and starting from Nasik, it starts to flow towards the eastern side. It flows through a fault, and then it finally crosses through and then enters Andhra Pradesh after crossing through Telangana into the Bay of Bengal. So that is your major Godavari river right there. Now, to understand the tributaries, it's a very large system. So we are going to break Godavari into multiple parts to have a proper grip of things. So first is we'll focus on the major right-hand tributaries because there are three major right-hand tributaries. So the first tributary is Dharna, right here, which is very close to the origin point of Godavari itself. Then we have the river Pravara, the second major right hand tributary. Then, of course, the lengthiest right hand tributary is actually here. This is river Manjira. So, Manjira flows into Telangana, and then from there it takes a northward turn and then it forms the joining point with reference to Godavari. So, that is river number three. So, to remember the three right hand tributaries, just think about Deepam. You know the memory principle, I have spoken about this before. The vowels really don't have meaning. So the idea is you use the vowels as fillers so that we are able to easily remember. So you can think about Deepam, right? So that is actually floating in Godavari or something like that. Is it clear? So the major rivers which are to the right bank of river Godavari are Dharna, Pravara, and then Manjira. Now let's come to the left-hand tributaries. Now, thing is, when you take the left-hand tributaries, there are three major groups. Fine, so three groups are there, And we are going to divide the three groups, and then we have three different words, and we are going to narrate a story, a very simple story for that. So the first group is actually between the Ajanta ranges and the Satmala ranges, which is right here. And the two rivers are rivers Purna and Khandam. So first is, if you look at most of the tributaries and the main river of Purna itself, so all of them originate in Ajanta and they flow southward into the Godavari river. So that is river Purna for you. And then we have river Kaddam, originating close to the Satmala hills and then flowing south, right there. Now, why did we specify these two places? Because you can clearly see that these two rivers are found between Ajanta and Satmala. So that is why. Fine. So now let's come for the second set of left hand tributaries. And the first one, who's actually starting from the western side, is Penganga. Now, you have to understand here, you can clearly see that Penganga system is divided with reference to the Kaddam because of the presence of Satmala Hills. So, Penganga is right there, right here. And in the Vidarbha region, we have the two rivers of Varda and then Vainganga. And Varda and Vainganga join together to form the major river called as major tributary called as Pranita. So we have Varda river system originating from the north along with the Vainganga river system. So we have Varda and then we have the Vainganga. And when Varda and Vainganga merge together, we call it as Pranita. And Pranita is a very important tributary of river Godavari. Right there. There you go. So you can clearly see how big this particular system is. It has two major rivers joining to form a very important tributary of Godavari. And now coming to the last set, of course, we have the river Indravati, and along with river Indravati, we also have river Sabari. Sabari is right here. So both these rivers are moving from eastern to western side. So this is Indravati, and then to the south of Indravati is Sabari. The Sabari is the last major tributary which joins Godavari before Godavari forms its delta here. So this is the sequence of river systems from western to eastern side. Now, what are we to do? Well, you know what we have to do. We have to arrange them properly. So I'm just going to go south just to give focus on the memory techniques alone. So this is Godavari River. And you know from the start that at the first we have two sets of rivers. We have River Purna, and after River Purna, we had River Kandam. So you're going to take the alphabets again, P and K, and I'm just going to use this very simple I here. So someone is going to pick the Deepam. Look at that, we are forming the story. So we have the Deepam here, and someone is going to pick it up. Okay, lift it up, fine. And both rivers Purna and Kaddam were found between the Ajanta, and then we had the Satmala Hills. So that's easy to remember. Now for the second group. So let's focus on that particular segment right now. Let me retrace the line. You can see that river Penganga is actually divided, or let's just say it is separated from river Kaddam because of the presence of Satmala Hills. So we have Penganga here, and after Penganga, we had Penganga as a tributary, it is a tributary of river Varda, and Varda and Venganga join together. Venganga here. So both of them merge together to form the river Pranita. Right? So there you go. That's Pranita for you. So this is the second set. Fine. So we've just told that someone has already picked up the Devam. Right? So what I'm going to do is focus on these three things. Okay, before I include Pranita. So when Deepam is picked up, of course, it is going to be extremely hot. So remember, you have to add these visuals, these sensory feelings to make the memory really stronger. You can say it is, since it is very very hot. He's just shouting "Pawow." Okay, because it's extremely hot, he's not able to hold it properly. Fine, so Pawao. So Penganga, W stands for Varda, and then we have Vainganga. And now for the last system, this is the last set. We have the two rivers, Indravati, and after Indravati, we also have Sabari. So this is the last set. So how are you going to finish this? Well, we have Pranita, which is the joining point. Then we have I, and then we have S. Well, simple. We have a pizza right here. Look at that. We have a pizza. So we just said that it was very hot to hold. So what does the person do? Well, he takes the deepam, and that deepam is simply placed on the pizza. And there you go. The story is ready. So I know that the story sounds really absurd, but that is the basis of the memory principle. You can use logical things like why, how to understand science. But if you simply want to memorize facts, the best way to go about is simply to use a random story, which has absolutely no logic. So to recall, just for you, look at the rivers again. So Deepam. So Deepam stands for the rivers which are present from the south. We have the river we have the first river, which is actually starting from here, is Darna, and after Darna, P, right? So P stands for, yeah, P stands for Pravara, and after Pravara, we have the next river system, which joins Godavari after crossing through into Telangana. That is, we have Manjira, M. So there you go. We have Deepam. Uh, that is Darna, Pravara, Manjira, and after that we have going to pick the Deepam, which is Purna, and then Kaddam. Then after that, since it is very hot, the person makes a noise Pawau. So Pawau stands for Penganga, Varda, and Venganga. And then finally we are going to place the Deepam over a pizza. So that pizza stands for Pranita, Indravati, and then finally Sabri. So that's it for today's video. This is a much larger river. 48% of the drainage basin is actually in the state of Maharashtra. But again, as you know, you try replaying the story within your mind 3-4 times, and automatically all the tributaries are going to stick with you. So that's it for today. Meet you with the Krishna River Basin tomorrow. Signing off, this is Gautam.